obviously, tell me about the new book. Why write it? Where did the inspiration come from?
You know, it's called The Every Girl's Guide to Life, and the reason I wrote it was because, you know, I've struggled with similar issues to, you know, just about every girl. I had, you know, some weight to lose at one point. I was a complete slob.
I doubt that.
I wanted to do a lot of different things, and I didn't realize what was inhibiting me, what was stopping me from kind of like really getting it all right. And what I started to realize was that I had this luxury of being in this business for the last 11 years, and I've been exposed to the best experts and the biggest stars, and so I always had information at my fingertips. So I would always learn something that would make my life easier and better, and I would tell my friends, but you can't tell everybody all the time. So, you know, you do a magazine article here or there, you'll say something, and you know, women would stop me all the time at the airports, you know, on the street. They'd be like, "How did you lose the weight? How did you keep it off? How do you do so much and not, you know, self-combust?" And so I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to write this all down. And so the book is basically how to live your life and do everything better, faster, cheaper, how to live a healthier, happier, and more successful life. So I teach people how to get organized. I give them travel tips because I travel constantly, makeup, hair, which I do my own hair and makeup for the show for, you know, access and stuff like that. And so I teach them how I do it. And then I did, Bing sponsored my book tour, so then I did video tips.
Oh, cool.
That are at bing.com/Maria. It should still be up right now. It's eventually going to go down. And so I shot video versions of them too.
That's amazing. Now you mentioned experts in there. Any like people that we know that you know, obviously for tips to help out that are included in the book that you said?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The hardest thing to remember was who I learned everything from, because it was like 11 years of my life where it was like, you know, this person gave me this tip, or, you know, Heidi Klum actually helped me. At one point, I had a friend, Laura Schiffman, who owns a PR company in LA, and I was like, how do you keep everything organized for your assistant and whatever? And she was like, oh, you have to have a black book. And I'm like, what's a black book? And she's like, well, you put everything about your life into one book. And so I started one similar to hers, then Heidi Klum gave me hers, and then I made my version even more intense. So I could literally give you my black book, and you could run my entire life. So say I got appendicitis, and I was going to be bedridden for the next 2 days. I could give it to my sister, my babysitter, my nanny, like anybody in your life that's going to take care of you, and they don't need to ask you any questions. Everything's in there.
Oh, okay.
Everything for your life, down to your DirecTV account number. So if your TV's busted and you're in bed and you're like, oh, my TV, she'll be like, don't worry, I got it.
So it's like when a doctor kind of takes over a case, they have all the files and everything, so they don't have to like adjust. That's perfect.
Exactly. So things like that.
That's amazing. So you're always multifaceted. You have, you know, multiple things going on at once. What are some projects you have in the works?
I just am starting to talk about this great venture that I started with my partner Kevin. It's called AfterBuzzTV.com.
Okay.
It's the largest new media web platform. The largest new media platform on the web right now. And basically, we do after shows for your favorite TV shows.
Cool.
So you know, like there's Sports Center and a million sports shows for sports. And I'm a huge sports fan, but there's nothing for TV. So
I was just thinking that.
I'm a diehard Breaking Bad fan or Dexter, and there's nobody to talk to about it. So we started this, and we have about 50 shows per week. So we have 50 hours of programming, and we built studios and the whole deal. And then we have about 100 hosts. And they come from all walks of life. It's producers, it's choreographers, it's, you know, publicists, it's all different people that are just super fans of the show. So it's also a positive thing, because with blogs and all that stuff, everything's gotten so hateful and negative, and this is just a great place for a celebrity to come talk about their show in a positive environment.
That's amazing, because I was just thinking that, like you said, the sports, there's so many outlets for sports, but like for music, entertainment, or even TV shows, there really isn't. It's just a show and that's it.
Yeah, so you can find us at AfterBuzzTV.com, and then also on iTunes.
Oh, that's
you can
awesome.
download the podcast. So.
Nice. That's perfect.
And we're getting downloads from all over the world. Our bandwidth is like... one of our hosting companies ditched us because we were taking up too much bandwidth. So now we're halfway to Adam Carolla, and he's the #1 podcast. So I'm like, that's a good sign.
So just touching base on some, past things. You were in the first Fantastic Four movie. What do you think of Chris Evans kind of moving into the role of Captain America? Just, for a timely kind of...
I love Chris Evans. I think he's an exceptional actor, and I think that he's going to be amazing as Captain America. The movie looks like it's going to be great from the trailers. I just think that he's very low key, he's very quiet.
Seems like that.
He's a real actor, but he's a really good guy too.
Do you think fans will be a little confused because of the whole Marvel tie-in, or do you think it's like whatever?
He was an ensemble, and this is just
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
he's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be so successful for him, and I'm so happy.
I'm excited to see it too. So. You were just featured in Self magazine.
Mm-hmm.
How was that, tying with the whole book, and like you said, the issues that women, struggle with? How was that experience for you?
It was great. I mean, shooting the cover of Self magazine was a dream. I mean, I was looking at the covers before, and it was like Gwyneth Paltrow and all these people, and I'm like, all right, I'm in really awesome company. This is really a blessing. And so it was fun. I mean, we did, in the layout, we did my lazy woman's workout, which is also in the book, and they were all dying. I'm like, you can totally get a great workout in bed, and it's awesome. So.
Do you have a lazy men's workout for us, or no?
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, I was doing crunches in bed. Like, you can just, literally, you're in bed. What? This doesn't work, right? You still get your abs in, so. I did it on the Today Show. They were dying laughing.
That is awesome.
You do push-ups, sit-ups, the whole deal.
That's right up there with, I think, I saw Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds doing yoga backstage one time. That was pretty interesting, but that's pretty up there.
Yeah.
So you're in Miami. How long are you here for?
I leave tomorrow.
Are you excited is this your first swim week, or have you been here before, or?
I have never been here for swim week, actually. So,
that's exciting.
and Shay Todd hosted my book party in Los Angeles, and so, and I'm wearing Shay Todd now. And I was very excited that they were doing this. I'm like, yeah, I'll come do a book signing in Miami during Carmageddon? Of course.
Yeah, driving in here was like, oh, here we go. Here's the traffic starts right now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, but I